Hello, my name is Jeanette Coffey, and this is week 5, and I'll be conducting a sheep brain dissection video. And we have our sheep brain here. And I'll just start on the gross anatomy of the sheep brain. So I'll point out the frontal lobe here. We have our temporal lobe here, our parietal lobe here, and our occipital lobe in the rear. And each hemisphere is separated by the longitudinal fissure. So we have our right and our left. And now I'll discuss the gyrus and sulcus. So we have our central sulcus, which extends across the lateral surface of the cerebrum. So we have our cerebrum here. And it extends across the lateral surface of the cerebrum from superior to inferior. And it's located midway along the brain here. So we have, it separates. And our gyrus, which is, it greatly increases the surface area of the cortex. It's the grooves between its folds here. So the folds that you see are the gyrus, and the grooves, which I explained earlier, are the sulci. So we'll move our attention to the cerebellum. In the cerebellum, we also have near there is the pons and the medulla oblongata. So here we have our medulla oblongata here, and our pons here, medulla oblongata pons. And then we'll move our attention, of course this is our cerebrum. And we'll move into the ventral surface. And we have our olfactory bulb, which is going to be these here. And our optic nerve, of course, is here. And our optic chiasm, which is here, which connects the two of the optic nerves. And we have our trochlear nerve, which is going to be located it's a very small one here. Not sure if you can see it very well here. And we have the larger oculomotor nerve, which is here. Two of them here. And we have our abducent nerve, which is the smaller nerves. It's going to be about right here. And now we'll move our attention to the pituitary gland, which is going to be right here, dark brown area right there. Now we'll move our attention to the midbrain. And midbrain, you will see, if you separate the cerebrum and the cerebellum here, you will see a set of 4, and that's going to be our corpora quadrigemum, which is just the body of 4 here. And of course we have the left and right superior colliculi and the inferior colliculi, which is going to be smaller inside here. And of course we have the penile body, which is difficult to see here, but once we're inside, you could see the penal body here. So we'll now look at the sagittal section of the brain. And of course we have our cerebrum right here. And we have our pons here. Our medulla oblongata here. And we have our corpus callosum, which is going to be located here. It's a wider area. And we have our fornix. Fornix is going to be here, the lateral area here. And we have the fourth ventricle, which is going to be the space between here. It's going to be between the pon and the cerebrum here. So it's just a very small space. And of course we have the penal body again, which is also considered the epithalamus. And I'm just going to focus our attention to the cerebellum, which has tree-like branches here. It's almost like tree-like. Those are considered your arbor ventri. And there's an intermediate mass of the thalamus. It's going to be, thalamus is here. It's going to be the darker area. So let's turn it this way. It's a little bit easier to see. It's going to be the darker area. And we have our, of course, the pituitary gland, which you can see here. So once again, we have the darker area, which is going to be the intermediate mass of the thalamus. It's a small brown area that separates the thalamus. Pons, medulla oblongata. And this is the sagittal view. And that's going to complete my video. Thank you very much.